We got the top 7 keys each team needs to find to unlock the door to the Super Bowl. Name your third favorite installment in a trilogy. Best possible matchup, the rubber match, courtesy of the best division in the NFC. LA Rams, winners of back-to-back road playoff games, showed they can pull out a close one, can win in the elements, all in front of a raucous crowd.
And it's good! And the Los Angeles Rams go to the championship game!
We get the number 1 scoring offense versus the number 1 scoring defense, playoff style. Seattle Seahawks just blew a fellow playoff team out with its quarterback throwing for less than 125 yards, its 1,700-yard receiver finishing with less than 20 yards. Not sure Luke made the right call. Might have been wise to join the dark side after all.
In trouble, sacked, ball is out, Seattle has it. Party's on in the Emerald City.
Luke, I am your father, cause I am a baller. Okay, so round 3, and here's what's kinda strange. The number 1 scoring defense this season, the Seattle Seahawks, have only let one team score 21 plus points on them in their last 7. The one team, the Rams, week 16, who they outscored 38-37 in an OT classic.
Sam steps, looks, throws back in the end zone, touchdown! Seahawks!
But when the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL, the LA Rams, prevailed in Week 11, they won by a whopping 21-19 final.
Throws middle, it's intercepted again! You can't be serious!
LA secondary picked off Sam Darnold 4 times, no touchdowns allowed, which brings us to Seattle's first key. They need Yosemite Sam to show up, not the Sixth Sense Darnold. When Seattle won, Darnold threw a couple of first-half picks, but turned it around with 2 second-half TDs, came through in the clutch.
Darnold has time, looks inside, it's caught! The Seahawks win the game!
Sammy D threw for 270 and 279 yards versus LA, played through an oblique injury in their divisional round win, only threw 17 times, just 124 yards, but completed 12 passes over 7 yards per attempt, a TD, no picks, a 110 rate.
49ers drop out of a blitz. Oh, it's caught! Oh, man! Weave that in there somehow.
Darnold hasn't been what you'd call on fire down the stretch, though. It's rare to see him shine without Jackson Smith and Jigba doing the same, of course, so he's their second key. Hauled in Darnold's lone TD versus the Niners.
Darnold looking, firing, end zone. It is caught! Touchdown!
Just 19 yards, though. Had one game like last week's during the regular season versus Minnesota, just 23 yards, 92 yards and 2 touchdowns the week that followed. 105 yards versus LA when they lost, 96 and a TD when they prevailed, so plenty effective versus LA secondary.
JSN, who cuts back up inside, and a terrific route run by Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And the jilted X. Cooper Kupp gets to face his old employer with the stakes as high as they could be, led Seattle in receiving yards in their win over the Niners, 5 catches, 60 yards.
Throws one deep, has a man, and it's Cooper Kupp right at the sticks.
Tight end A.J. Barner, quiet in that win, has had plenty of big games, though, scored versus the Rams in their Week 16 victory.
Darnold stops, throws back to the right, pull that one out of your bag of tricks.
So LA's first key, disrupt the Darnold-JSN connection. Their secondary play, really, which has been a little sketchy in spots as of late. When they lost to Seattle, they let both guys have huge second halves, beat them when they held Darnold in check to the end. They picked him off 6 times in their 2 games, and their DBs just picked off Caleb Williams 3 times. Clock struck midnight for the Bears. They ripped that glass slipper right off.
He's got time. Shot downfield in trouble. Is intercepted.
Rams secondary played the pass strong in 2025, so it's not a stretch for them to win battles with quarterbacks. Key number 3 for Seattle, their rush attack, keeping LA's defense honest. Kenneth Walker was solid in their loss to the Rams, 67 yards, 4 a run, plus a touchdown. But when they beat LA, he scored along with 100 yards on 9.1 a pop.
Breaks it outside 50. He's down at 40. He's on the run. Touchdown! Seahawks!
Walker, the star of their offense in their divisional round win, 116 yards on 6.1 per attempt, cashed it in 3 times, too.
Kenneth Walker again, to the left, sprinting through. Walker's got another.
He's just electric in the open field.
Walker has hit at 6'1 or better 3 of his last 4 games. LA's front just faced an elite running back duo, held DeAndre Swift to 4 a carry, Kyle Monangai to 2.8 per.
It's a run. It's Monangai. No!
Now to LA's second key, its own rush attack. Kyren Williams finished under 3.5 per try in their loss to Seattle, hit at 7.6 per when they won, 91 yards plus a TD.
It's a gun run, right side. Kyren Williams punches it in.
It's the efficiency factor for both backs. Williams racked up 87 yards versus Chicago, scored twice.
Kyren Williams bouncing to the outside. Williams to the end zone.
And Kyren also has a running mate in Blake Corum, just 19 yards versus the Bears. But Seattle's fourth key make LA's offense one-dimensional. No harder defense for a back to be efficient against than Seattle's this season. Held CMC to 35 yards, only 3.2 per attempt.
4th and 1. Gonna run a little option, and that's not gonna work.
That play had no chance.
This isn't to say Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Devontae Adams aren't bigger keys, so to speak, but Nacua and Stafford had crazy good outings in that Week 16 game, and they lost. Stafford only threw for 130 yards, Nacua 75 when they won. But their big 3 still are key to the outcome. Stafford with 5 total touchdowns versus the Hawks without getting picked. He hung 450-plus yards on the Seahawks secondary Week 16.
Stafford has time to deal. Caught middle. Matthew Stafford put it on his number.
Stafford no TD passes versus the Bears, though. Only 6.1 per attempt, a 67 rate game. Not one of his best.
Flushed, floats it out to Parkinson. Couldn't bring it in. And Stafford, after the hot start, has been cold of late.
Was it the cold, his middle finger being banged up, a little of both? Adams just 24 yards versus the Bears. The Hawks held him to a 1-yard TD reception on 8 targets when they lost to LA. He didn't play the second time around, which led to Nakua's outburst. He put up the best receiving game of the year in that one. 12 catches, 225 yards, 2 scores.
And that's how stars are born, big games like this. Puka Nacua is on a completely different level right now.
Nacua 56 yards versus Chicago.
Pressure on. The throw is caught. Nacua. First down.
So key number 5 for Seattle, find a way to contain those 3. They are equipped for it. They have an elite secondary, held Brock Purdy to 15 of 27 passing, 5.2 per attempt a week ago, held him to 140 yards.
These Seahawks are something else. So hard to get any yard. Couple turnovers, why not?
Safety Kobe Bryant returned last week. 2 targets, no catches allowed, 1 pass defensed. Nick Emmanwori knocked a ball away. Reek Woolen knocked down 2 Purdy passes. Josh Jobe, no receptions allowed. Devin Witherspoon, 7 targets, only 29 yards allowed. Hawks number 1 versus wide receivers in 2025, held every San Francisco wideout under 25 yards.
He has time, looking deep, throwing that way, it's high and incomplete.
If this is the year defense is supposed to live up to that old saying, Seattle is in good shape, they held San Francisco to 6 points. No red zone trips allowed.
Incredible season, another game-changing play for the Seahawks defense.
Slight blind spot. They didn't play tight ends great this year, did give up 59 yards to Jake Tonjes.
Steps away, being chased, throws it back. He's got a man open and is caught by Tonjes.
Stafford regularly dips into his tight ends too, so make that their 4th key. Tyler Higbee a 27-yard catch last week. Colby Parkinson 56 yards.
Stafford out quick, little pick. Sets Parkinson free for a big gain.
LA's 5th key, making sure Stafford has time to find those blokes. Seahawks' beefy pass rush didn't sack Stafford once in either game. That's unusual for them, so making getting to him their 6th key. Leonard Williams had a sack and 2 QB hits versus San Francisco. DeMarcus Lawrence had 1 and 3 QB hits.
Can't find him. Gets clocked. Ball is loose. DeMarcus Lawrence with a big hit.
Byron Murphy, Uchenna Nwosu also loom and will do battle with an O-line that gave up the fewest sacks in 2025, but LA allowed 4 sacks versus Chicago. Right guard Kevin Dotson gave up 1. Right tackle Warren McClendon gave up 2.
I literally can't believe the amount of success they're having off the edge here.
LA's own pass rush, their sixth key then. Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner, Byron Young couldn't track down Caleb once on 42 tries. He is hard to reach. They didn't bury Darnold once when they beat him and picked him off 4 times, but they did get to him 4 times in the shootout at the OK Corral.
Extra pressure. Look out. Darnold got him by the ankle.
Darnold took 2 sacks on 17 pass attempts in the divisional. Center Jalen Sundell gave up 1. Kenneth Walker gave up the other. They got blitzed 36% of the time, gave up a 36% pressure rate. Both those figures a little on the high side.
Pressure. Rolling away. He is sacked for a big loss.
And that does not help the oblique.
Hawks like their line, though. Abraham Lucas, Anthony Bradford, Gray Zabel, Charles Cross, all aiding an offense that produced 34 points in their playoff win, 4 for 6 in the red zone.
To seal the edge untouched for Walker, the dam has broken.
Seattle's number 3 scoring offense versus LA's number 10 scoring defense, coming off a nice showing, holding Chicago to 17 points.
He's in trouble. Durant's got this one. Interception.
Special teams, each team's final key. Jason Myers 2 for 2 on field goal tries versus San Francisco, 5 for 5 on extra points. They have a second-team All-Pro punter in Michael Dixon, and Rashid Shaheed had that huge kickoff return. Didn't do anything in the passing game, but made his offensive presence felt with a 30-yard run, a major X factor.
Here's Shaheed on the end around. He could fly. We've seen it already. Cuts back inside the 40.
Harrison Mevis, perfect in the wind and snow and in the clutch, made both extra points and both field goals.
And Harrison Mevis ends their year of special teams woes.
Seattle 7-2 versus 500-plus teams, 7-2 with the 12s on their side. The Rams 6-3 now versus teams with more wins than losses, 7-4 away from home after last week.
And the Rams are bound for the Great Northwest for the third act in the trilogy.
The Rams and Seahawks rivalry really got going when the Hawks were placed in the NFC West back in 2002. Each squad got a taste of victory against the other that season.
Bulger stands in, unloads quickly. Marshall Faulk got it, dragging the tackle. He's in. Touchdown, Marshall Faulk. So the Rams draw first blood 9 minutes into this football game.
While Faulk was running wild, number 22 Travis Fisher ran down a play from behind. Fisher prevented an almost certain Seahawk touchdown by chasing down a Seattle receiver before he could reach the end zone. Fisher's hustle paid off 2 plays later as the Seahawks tried to cash in.
It's play action again. Dilfer looking for the end zone. Intercepted, picked off. That's Kim Herring, the free safety. And the Rams come up with an opportune turnover.
While the defense was silencing Seattle, Marshall Faulk continued to dominate, spearheading a second-half scoring onslaught that saw the Rams compile 24 points.
He hands to Marshall Faulk, running left and trying to get in. Marshall walks in, touchdown.
Faulk sliced and cut his way through the Seahawk defense, and in the process scored 4 touchdowns. By winning their second game in a row, they had started to shift the momentum of their season.
Fresh from shocking the Falcons, Holmgren and the Hawks brought down the big top on the greatest show on turf.
Hasselbeck throwing the middle for Stevens, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks. Oh, no, they're going to rule him down. Man, come on now, man. Give that to that guy.
Unfortunately, they didn't. But there was no denying Sean Alexander.
Hand off Alexander to the left side, and he's knocked down at the goal line. Touchdown Seahawks.
With a 13-3 lead, John Randall and company revoked the Marshall Plan, holding Marshall Faulk and the Rams to just 17 yards rushing and forcing 5 turnovers.
Martin throwing the left side. Reggie Tongue with the interception. Martin back to pass under pressure. Intercepted by Simmons.
The Rams were reeling, and there was no question which offense was the greatest show on field turf.
Puts his shoulder down, across the goal line. Touchdown Seahawks. Hasselbeck under the blitz, floating the left side for Robinson. Jump ball, he's got it! And what a play! The blitz, Hasselbeck, rainbowing the right side. Jackson alone, to the end zone. Touchdown Seahawks!
The Seahawks were flying high.